Hi everyone, it is Poober here, and the last couple of episodes have really been chore focused. We've done a lot of factories, a lot of busy work, and we finally got the rocket launched last episode, so if you haven't checked that out, you can do so by clicking in the upper right hand corner over here. But I think I want to do something a little bit more relaxed and casual this episode, so I'm thinking we'll kick off episode 27 with doing some base beautification. Well, as you guys can tell, I basically laid this almost brick by brick. I had my bots help me, of course, but I went through all of the paths here to have this laid down perfectly the exact way I wanted to. And I kind of came up with this cool design, and I actually ended up doing it in a live stream. So if you guys want to join me in the future, you can do so by either following me on Twitch or looking for the alerts on YouTube for my Twitch account when I go live. But it was actually a lot of fun having you guys join me for that, where I got this all installed. But it ended up turning out really cool. I really like the pattern here, of course, for the middle, kind of this diamond-shaped design. And it extends outward, of course, into these diamond patterns. And then for the diagonal bits of pathway, we actually have kind of this weird, almost like Indian or Aztec kind of like symbol is kind of what it reminds me of. But it ended up looking really cool, I think, in the end. Of course, this is all kind of yellow, and it kind of reminds me of like the yellow brick road type thing. And one thing I don't like about this is that it doesn't have as good of a contrast as the gray that we had prior. So I think what I'll end up doing in the future is putting in like regular cement where all of our factories are. And that way it stands out a little bit better. But in the meantime, I'm happy with how this turned out. So for now, I think I want to move on to another project. What I was thinking that we haven't done before, or at least I haven't done before, is play with the new artillery wagons. So of course I've got that researched, but I don't yet have an area for the artillery train. What I was thinking we could do is end up putting it in this rail section here. Of course, this is where I have my personal train come in, basically for main base drop-off and getting to and from other areas of the base. But what I'm thinking is I've added in this track here where we can possibly put in one very long train with a bunch of different train heads and then the artillery wagons in between. So I'm going to go ahead and plant those down now, and we'll start getting those filled with the artillery shells themselves. So I made my way up here to the new track area that I just laid down off camera. But the reason why I'm thinking of putting it here is because I already have a natural kind of loop system where we can have the train come in and exit also pretty much immediately. And I don't really have to worry about adding in a new entrance from my big mess of railway that we have. So this kind of conveniently works out. Plus, I think it'll give me enough room to fit a decent amount of artillery wagons. Obviously, I'm not going to make any world records with like that Big Bertha type thing where I had like 100 wagons, but I think just even getting a little bit up and running will be better than nothing. So let's start with the train heads themselves. I don't have like a rhyme or reason for how many to do compared to like how many wagons, like what the right ratio is. But 4 seems like a healthy number. Let's start adding in the wagons now. And I'm assuming that that is the right direction. I actually don't know. But there's 4 here, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, I think is where we'll stop at, just because that's a healthy round number. And then of course we want this to go the reverse way. And hey, it almost looks perfectly symmetrical with that lined up that way. So now we have to worry about getting this fuel, of course. I think we'll do just requester boxes, but I am not quite in the logistic network, but that's okay. We can add in another robo bay here in just a minute. So let's do, looks like we can just craft a couple more. There we go. So let's start requesting fuel. I think I want to do, of course, the nuclear fuel, and we'll just do maybe 6 per box. And then I'm assuming we'll have to do requester based supply of the actual shells. And, this is on a little bit of an angle here. But let's see if that'll work. I think that'll work. It'll definitely work if I do it this way, though. So that's how I'll do it instead. And I don't know anything about the artillery wagons, to be honest, but let's, I think just request a couple. Let's do like 3 per box or something. I have no clue if that's the right amount or if I need to be asking for more. Let's build a couple more boxes. And of course these need electricity, but I'll worry about that in just a second here. And I think like 4 more or so should get us covered. Yep. And then the rest of the boxes are for the fuel again. Okay, let's compare it. Not 100% symmetrical, but close enough for me for now. I might edit that a little bit in the future. Okay, so I need power. Let's do like right there, and then let's mirror that. And like that, and like that, and like that, like that, and like that. And let's do basically the same thing on the other side. We'll do in between this time. And right there. Not 100% symmetrical or the same on either side, but like I said, close enough. Now let's just go ahead and worry about the RoboPort now. I guess we can just make it straight across. And then that way we're guaranteed the coverage we need. We'll do the same on the other side for symmetry purposes, because I really like symmetry. And let's make sure that all of the requester boxes have what they should need. And we're gonna just right-click, copy the condition, and put it onto these boxes again. And then again, this is the rocket, or the nuclear fuel rather. And let's copy that and put it here. Okay, now let's finish putting in the inserters that we need. Those have it. Oh, we need there, 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 there. Okay, add in a couple more electrical poles. Okay, everything's powered. It's going to take some time, I think, for the nuclear fuel to build up and get into the actual locomotives. But how does this work? So obviously we've got the 3 artillery shells in the requester box here now. How come it hasn't put anything into it? Do I have to do this manually? No. Interesting. Oh, okay. I'm understanding. So, interestingly, as I'm just figuring this out now, it looks like where you put the requester box actually matters. So it looks like the kind of tail end of the artillery wagon is where you put in the cargo. In our case, it's the actual artillery shell that goes in. So you can't put it in at the front where the actual turret is. You have to put it on the part right here, I guess. So let me move these boxes. The train stops right there, so I'm going to have to put it on this side. It looks like this one works, but I think for, again, like symmetry purposes and stuff, I'm going to try and keep everything on the same side. So right there. And let's just copy the condition right off the bat. And let's delete that. Let's add it into the butt of the wagon. And let's delete that. Add that there. Add that there. That works though. Oh, we've got to fix this part. Let's see, we'll have to do it right there instead for that to reach. Not a big deal. Well, I'm glad I caught that, or else I probably would have sent this to one of, like, an outpost or something and not known why it wasn't working or why only some of them were working. So again, make sure we have the conditions copied in all of these boxes. Oh, how come? Again, let's do 3 or so. That's probably overkill, but I actually don't know how many each wagon can hold at a time. Oh, it can hold at least 20 at a time, so I'm probably not requesting nearly enough, but that's okay. And, oh, that's, so we can still keep the fuel just fine. I'll keep this just for symmetry purposes. Like I said, we'll keep all of the boxes on the same side. There we go. And this one needs power there. And we'll put that one there. And we just need to fix this one, it looks like. Oh. Right there should do it, I think. Oh, and I forgot, there's one more. Oh boy. I'm gonna auto trash that because I don't want those in my inventory all the time. That way it'll just go to the requester boxes themselves. Okay. Let me take a look at the ammo production area now. You can see the assemblers for the artillery shells are kind of getting back in business. Those were kind of idle for quite some time since we haven't used any yet. Okay, let's take a look here. So they're all building up now, which is great. Now we just have to send it somewhere to go, I presume. We're still low on the fuel. How come? I swear we have way more fuel than that. Let me take a look at the Kovarex area. Yeah, oh, I see. Let us request from buffer chests. There we go. Now let's copy that condition to all of these. Now everything should presumably get everything that it needs. So how does this work? I guess let me edit this train name. We'll do artillery shell, or let's do main base, artillery shell loading. Okay, and then I assume I just kind of send it out to a random outpost. I don't have one that will fit it right now, so let me head down somewhere, presumably somewhere where we need to get rid of the biterness, so probably in this area over here. Although I'd rather us head in a direction where we might get more iron or copper patches. There's a little bit of a copper patch over here. Who knows what's down there? We've ventured out kind of north so far. Okay, we've got these two big patches, but those are my only main sources of iron and copper at the moment. So eventually those will get depleted. There's another patch over here though. So we have our options. So either way, let me go off camera. We'll build an outpost for this, and then we'll hopefully see the artillery wagon train finally up and running. And welcome back. I ended up adding in our first artillery outpost over here to the east, partly because I haven't explored too much over here beyond the water, which is something I do want to do eventually. And secondly, because I thought this would give me a good opportunity to test out the actual range and the killing ability of the artillery wagons on these biter nests over here just below the train track. So hopefully the range will allow us to hit it from this little outpost over here where I have the little train station. I don't actually know. Again, this is my first time ever playing with the artillery wagon at all. So that just means the next thing we have to do is just hop in and head on over there and test it out. Okay, we're just now arriving. Phew, and thankfully this is long enough. So now it's parked for the first time. Is it? It's working. Oh my gosh, that is so cool. It is hitting this one over here. And it didn't kill all of it. Oh no. Are they gonna fire again? Now what? I think they're coming my way. I'm not sure if it's gonna kill the closer stuff. I better put something down. Oh my gosh, I have nothing except... Oh gosh. Gonna man mode this. Phew, okay. Well, lesson learned is that not the greatest at shooting stuff close up, but not bad at shooting stuff far away. The problem is, though, I think this train station is not quite within range to kill, obviously, even just this one patch. Or am I just out of ammo? Let's check that. No, ammo is definitely not the problem. So it must be a range issue, and I'm trying to solve that. I already was thinking ahead, and I've got artillery shell range 1 getting researched now. But even this first tier of the artillery shell range is pretty expensive. It's 2,000 of each of the science packs, including the space science. So obviously that's going to be a little slow going until I start getting some mega base factories going. Well, that wasn't very successful, so I ended up making another outpost just a little bit further east. This time it's much closer to the spider patch over here and whatever looms in the darkness over here. So let's hop in and head over to that one and see if we are a little bit more successful for attempt number 2. Okay. Oh, already working. Awesome. Wow, that pretty much annihilated this. Still got some strays. Oh no. But that did a better job than I thought it would. Like I said earlier, it's not great for up close, but no reason why I couldn't modify a cool outpost in the future to have like laser turrets and stuff for the nearby stuff, and then this to get the bulk of the nests. Oh, but I might be speaking too soon. Let's kill this crap. Oh no. Oh no. It looks like I spoke too soon. Not quite as effective as I was hoping for. Instead, I just ended up aggroing a ton of spiders and wasting all of my ammo that's so expensive. Let's get more combat bots. Do I have anything else on me? Oh my god. Well, I think I spoke too soon. Not quite the success I was hoping for. I understand why it's pretty effective in theory, because it did demolish this patch over here for the most part, but I was not quite prepared for all of the little biters that would be coming up to me up close to the actual artillery wagons themselves. So that sucks. I basically have to rebuild all of my ammo from scratch. But I think good lesson learned. I can now just basically get rid of that, I think, or leave that there for the meantime. That's the only surviving one I have. But I'll take this back to the main base, I think, and we'll go ahead and with that climactic ending, wrap it up here. Thanks you guys so much for joining me for episode 27, and if you want to join me for the future Twitch live streams, feel free to do so. My Twitch handle is down below. And I hope to see you otherwise for episode 28 here pretty soon. So I ended up just loading an earlier save because I didn't want all of my artillery shells to go to waste. So I'm going to teach these guys a lesson.